All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I know we have quite a few new people today as this class, Mindful Yoga for Healers, was shared actually on the Mindful Magazine events this week. So I think we have a number of new people from perhaps around the world, and you are welcome to join us, and we're so excited to have you. So I will just introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. I am Jessie Mahoney, and I am a pediatrician. And I also worked in physician wellness for about 17 years. And now I do mindful coaching for people in healthcare, and I teach yoga. And I offer these classes most Saturdays as a gift to my fellow healers, especially during COVID, knowing that we all need more breathing, nourishment, healing, and taking care of ourselves. It's also an opportunity to come together in community, albeit on Zoom, to feel a little bit less isolated with some of the struggles that we feel and the heaviness that we feel working in healthcare in a pandemic and not in a pandemic. So these classes are recorded, but again, you won't show up on the screen. Excuse me. You can find recorded old classes on YouTube, and or if you miss a Saturday class and you're looking for one, feel free to find them there. They are under Jessie Mahoney. And a couple of other things just to share. I am a co-host of a podcast called the Mindful Healers Podcast, and we talk a lot about similar themes that come up, practicing mindfulness in healthcare and yoga and living a more mindful and healthy life as a healer. And we also have the Mindful Healthcare community for any of you who are not a part of that, and we would love to have you join us there. We offer yoga and a lot of other events as well. So today I wanted to dovetail on a Mindful Healthcare Collective session event that I held last week called It's Okay to Not Be Okay, and to also offer that it's also okay to be okay in this moment. And so with that, find a comfortable seat wherever you are. You can have your video on or off, whatever works for you. Ideally, if you have a block or a bolster or a blanket, sit up atop that for more comfort and to help you settle. And during the class, the idea is to listen to your body and figure out how you feel and what works for you and what you need to do to feel comfortable. Don't do anything that hurts. Don't do anything that doesn't work for you. Yoga is an act of listening and an act of pausing, and that is part of the purpose. And for many of us who work in busy, high-intensity professions, we don't do that very often. And so use this class as a chance to do that. And know that I cannot see you in all of your little boxes while I'm teaching. And so take care of yourselves well, nourish yourself, and do what works for you. A previous class, we actually talked about the beauty of being in a Zoom box and no one being able to see you. So it's a chance to really practice and figure out what nourishes you and what's most comfortable for you. So ground and settle atop whatever you happen to have to sit upon. And hips above the knees helps to release those hip flexors where we carry a lot of the tension and heaviness in this moment. And notice your sit bones settle against whatever you happen to be sitting upon. With intention, tilt your pelvis forward slightly and grow your spine. Stack your vertebrae one atop the other. Lengthen your neck and reach the crown of your head towards the sky. And with intention, drop your shoulders. Notice how, as you drop, you let go a little bit. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Just allow yourself to pause and to settle and to take a listen. Notice what's going on. Notice how you feel. Perhaps, like many in this moment in the pandemic, you feel not okay. Perhaps you feel okay. Whatever you feel is okay. And take in a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Use the breath as a tool to create space, to nourish yourself, to heal yourself, and to feel better. Take in another long, deep inhale through your nose, if that works for you. And an exhale through your mouth. And pause once again, notice how you feel. Bring your left hand atop your heart. Rest it gently and place your right hand atop the left. Press into that heart space gently and take a moment to listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to what it's telling you. Whatever it is feeling, exhausted, energetic, is fine. Allow whatever it is, frustrated, angry, overwhelmed. And if you happen to feel okay today, that is also allowed. It's okay to feel good even as we're working in a broken world and a broken time. We deserve moments of feeling good and nourishing ourselves. So can you allow whatever you feel? Can you give yourself permission to feel whatever it might be? And notice perhaps how you're resisting it, how you wish it would go away, how you wish other people would change. Other people would behave differently, keep others' safety more in mind. How you wish things were different. And notice that even in that space, you can make a difference to yourself and to others. Could you show up with more compassion and more understanding? First and foremost, for yourself. Take in another long, deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Inhaling nourishment and exhaling a little bit of that resistance to the way things are. Inhaling deeply to make room for a little more compassion for yourself. Acceptance of what is. And exhale the frustration. Let a little bit of it go. Not all of it, just a little. Acknowledge that you are human. As humans, we have strong emotions. We get tired. And that's okay. When we come from this place of compassion and acceptance, understanding, and curiosity, it's much easier to move forward. So perhaps in our practice today, can you allow a little bit more of that in? Not because things are right or don't need to be fixed, but because they are as they are. And letting go of our resistance and allowing however we feel and however they are makes it easier for us to move forward. Take in another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring your hands to heart center. Press each finger pad against one another. Rub your palms together. Press the thumbs into your sternum. Connect deeply to your chest space and allow yourself to make an intention for this next hour. What do you need? How could you nourish yourself? And how could you allow perhaps yourself to be exactly where you are? What might happen if you let go a little bit of the struggle? As Mark Nepo says, when you stop struggling is when you float. Can you allow yourself an hour here to float and struggle a little less, and then perhaps bring that with you into the rest of your day and the week ahead? Once again, take a long, deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. And lower your hands to your thighs and slowly open your eyes and let the light in. Just notice perhaps how you feel now. Reconnect with where you're sitting and those sit bones grounding downward deeply into the earth, not stuck, but borrowing that earth's energy, drawing it up through your sit bones, through your spine once again, through the crown of your head, and drop your shoulders. Bring your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky, palms face one another. Exhale, drop your right hand towards the earth, ground your palm into the earth, bend that right elbow and reach your left fingertips gently towards the right. Inhale into the left side body, left hip grounds downward. And exhale, let it go, making a little more space gently. A deep, nourishing inhale to every nook and cranny of the lung space. And exhale, release. Press into that right hand, come upright towards the sky once again. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall, 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 stretch both side bodies. Exhale, drop your left hand, place your palm on the earth, bend your left elbow, ground the right hip into the earth and reach those right fingertips gently towards the left. Deep inhale into the right side body, every nook and cranny, stretch each little muscle fiber. And exhale, let it go with kindness. Another deep inhale into every tight spot, every spot that's holding on. And exhale, let it loosen. Press into the left hand, reach both arms up towards the sky once again. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms towards the sky. Shimmy your elbows behind you. Inhale, reach those palms upward. Slight arch back. Exhale, round forward into a seated cat. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky. Slight arch back, palms reach upward. Exhale, round, come into a seated cat. Nourish yourself with the movement. Use your belly and your spine and enjoy it. Inhale, arch slightly, reach those palms towards the sky. Use the movement as a form of nourishment and relaxation. Exhale, round into cat, last one. Inhale, reach those palms up towards the sky again. Exhale, open your palms out towards the side wall. Wrists are flexed, palms press into the side wall. Extend your elbows, engage every muscle in your arms. Pinch the scapula together and release. Notice how it feels. Once again, pinch the scapula together. Enjoy the sensations and release, let it go. Squeeze your fists. Flick your hands open. Let things go through the fingertips far out. Make a fist. Release the hands. Flick like you're flicking water away. One more. Squeeze the fists as tight, tight, tight as you can. Your arms fully engaged. And open your hands like starbursts and flick the water away. Relax your hands. Wrap your arms in front of you, right arm under the left. Give yourself a huge hug. Wiggle those fingers towards the medial edge of the scapula. Squeeze tight. Take a deep inhale here. Notice that there's not much room. Exhale, drop your chin into your chest and allow your head to release into the cradle of your arms. Let your neck and upper back release here. Deep inhale into the back body. Giving yourself a huge hug. And exhale, let it go. One more deep inhale here. And exhale, release. Raise your chin back up to neutral. Relax your fingers, release your arms, press your hands into the side wall once again. Engage every muscle for just a moment, release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. Left arm under the right, wiggle those fingertips towards your scapula, the medial edge. Give yourself a huge hug. Breathe in deeply. And exhale, drop your head into the cradle of your hands and let things go. Notice the stretch between the scapula. Take a deep inhale into the back body. And exhale, let things go. One more deep breath here and enjoy it. Allow yourself a moment to feel good. Notice how good it feels to give yourself a hug, and know this is always a possibility when you're feeling tapped out and done. Deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Raise your chin up to neutral, relax your hands, untangle your arms, press them into the side walls, and lower them by your sides. Roll your shoulders back 3 times. Enjoy the release in the neck muscles and the shoulder muscles, huge circles. Roll them forward 3 times, nourishing rolls, each movement caring for yourself, allowing yourself to just feel however it feels. You can take out whatever you happen to be sitting on. If you have very tight hamstrings, you can stay atop a blanket or a bolster if that works for you. Extend your legs long in front of you. Rock side to side on your sit bones. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Hinge forward at the hips. Ground your sit bones downward towards the earth. Legs are extended long in front, but with a gentle bend in the knees. Spine is long towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Engage your belly. Take your hands, reach them up towards the sky once again. Palms face one another. Gently fold forward into a forward fold. Allow your head and neck to release towards your knees. And notice all the sensations in the back of the thighs, the back of the back body. Release your head and neck. If you wish, you can lower your knees towards the floor. Deep inhale here. Allowing everything that comes up. Another long, deep, nourishing inhale through your nose into every nook and cranny of your lungs. And a huge releasing exhale here in this forward fold. You can inch your fingers farther forward if it works for you on the exhale, letting things go. Noticing perhaps the sensations in the back of the legs. Walk your hands up your shins, to your knees, to your thighs. Come back to an upright position and allow yourself to settle. Notice the transitions, the blood flow shifting. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Come into butterfly pose. Once again, rock side to side on your sit bones. You can have a little moment of fun with this, but ground the sit bones deeply into the earth when you come to a pause. Tilt your pelvis forward, reach your spine, align it tall towards the sky. Inhale deeply into the chest, puff your chest towards the front. Hands are on your ankles. Exhale, lower your knees a little bit towards the earth. Notice how it feels. Inhale, once again, puff your chest deeply towards the front. Raise the crown of your head towards the sky. Fill up your chest. And exhale, press your knees a little farther towards the earth. Once again, inhale, stretch tall and long, reach tall. Exhale, lower those knees a little bit more. Gently release your hands from your feet. Stretch your legs out wide. Come into a wide angle pose. Once again, ground those sit bones into the earth. Notice how important it is in the transition to take a moment to settle and ground and pause. And see if you can apply that into the rest of your life and the rest of your day. Tilt that pelvis forward, grow your spine long and tall once again. Your toes are in line with your knees, ankles are flexed. Take your hands, place them on the earth in front of you, and walk them forward inch by inch, and just notice how you feel. A little release in the back body, back of the legs, inner thighs. Breathe into it, just loosening some of the tension. And exhale, let it go. One more deep inhale. Notice as you fold forward, there's a little more space behind the heart. Fill it up with that nourishing air and acceptance and kindness and willingness to let go of a little of the resistance. On the out breath, walk your hands back slowly towards your groin. Sit upright. Hands come to the outer thighs and gently help your legs back towards the center. Sweep your feet around you. Come into hands and knees for tabletop position. Take a moment here once again to get comfortable. If you need a blanket underneath your knees because they are tender, take the time to make that happen. You can also fold your mat over double to give a little more cushion to your knees if that works for you. Hands will be directly under your shoulders. Knees are directly under your hips, hips width. Back is flat as if you could balance a tray on it. Tops of the feet gently connect to the earth. Take a moment, open all 5 fingers on each hand, equal pie shapes, ground both palms into the earth, extend your arms, elbows come into the shoulders come into the shoulder socket. Your elbows are straight. Engage your belly here. Take an inhale and arch into cow pose once again. Top of the head reaches towards the sky, sit bones reach towards the sky, front of the belly stretches. Exhale, round, come into cat pose. Reach your spine towards the sky, high, high, high. Inhale, come back to cow pose. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, sit bones reach towards the sky. Exhale, round into cat pose. Last inhale into cow. Enjoy the movement of the spine. Allowing yourself to move a little more freely. Exhale, round. Shoot that belly button navel up towards the sky. Extend your spine high, high, high. And exhale, come back to hands and knees. Take a moment to realign your hands and your arms. Alignment is critical. Extend your right leg behind you. Toes ground into the earth, ankle is flexed. On the inhale, lift your right foot about 6 inches below hip height. Make sure your hips are even and balanced towards the floor. On the inhale, if you wish, reach your left hand long in front. Extend your fingertips long towards the front of the mat and your heel towards the back of the mat. Engage your belly, balance here. Even in all of the windy storms that we have around us, we can balance and notice that the calm and the peace and the breath can help you do so. Inhale right into your navel and exhale, let it go. One more breath here for balance. Exhale, lower your left hand, right knee, come back to tabletop. Even yourself out. Take a moment to breathe and organize. Extend your left leg long behind you, toes on the earth, ankle is flexed. Engage your belly. On the inhale, reach your left heel up about 6 inches just below hip height. Take a moment to reorganize your hips. Exhale, let things go. Inhale, if you wish, extend your right arm long in front, fingers reach in one direction, heel presses in the other. Draw your attention to your navel. Notice your balance here. Is it easier on this side, harder on this side? Notice that you can stay balanced here using only half of your limbs. Breathe in one more time. Exhale, lower your right hand, left knee. Bring your knees apart, sink your hips back, come into child's pose. Walk your fingertips long, long, long in front of you, hips sink backward. Lower that third eye towards the earth if you can. You can also put a bolster or a block under your forehead if that works for you. And allow yourself a moment in child's pose. A moment to check in with yourself. Once again here, listen to your heart. Notice what it has to say. And allow whatever that is. Are you exhausted? Are you not okay? What do you need? What would help? We're just allowing things to be as they are, even help the tiniest bit, relieve a little bit of pressure. Breathe in compassion and kindness for where you are and who you are and all the things that are happening in your life at this moment. Tuck it into that pocket behind your heart that pops open here as the heart hangs in the chest. And exhale, release. Take one more breath here. Slowly come back to hands and knees. Walk your hands forward, a handprint. Curl your toes and lift your hips up into downward dog. Widen your feet slightly so the base of your feet is a bit wider. Notice what stance of downward dog works for you. Readjust your hands. Hips are the apex. Press into your hands, straighten your arms, engage your humeral head into the shoulder socket, reach your sit bones high, high, high. Press into your hands, lift up on your tiptoes as high as you can. Sit bones reach, head and neck are relaxed. Slowly lower your heels towards the earth and pause. Downward dog is actually a rest position. You can find rest even in a position such as this. Notice your heart hanging in your chest. More space to fill completely and diastole in the rest. More space open behind the heart. Breathe into that space. And a huge exhale, letting things go. Another deep inhale into that pocket behind the heart. Make room for the heart to fill completely in diastole. Exhale, let things go. Pause here for a moment and just notice if your perspective shifts. You are upside down. Do things look or feel different here? Bend your left knee, straighten your right, press your right heel into the earth. Bend your right knee, straighten your left, press your left heel into the earth. Just enjoy the sensations. Come back to center. Lower both heels towards the floor once again. They likely won't reach. There's no contest. Pause for one more long, deep inhale here. Noticing if your arms and shoulders are tiring. Exhale, huge exhale. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet, gently, handprint by handprint. Come into an easy forward fold. Your knees can stay bent. Lift up all 10 toes, ground the four corners of the earth downward and lower your toes. Release your hands from the earth if they're on it. Grasp your elbows and allow your head to release completely, head and neck, and to sway here. Knees will be bent, sit bones stick upward. You can twist side to side. Notice what feels good to you. Allow your head and neck to relax. Shift your weight into your toes, perhaps gently, and towards your heels, towards the left and towards the right. Finding your center, your personal center. Allow your head and neck to release once more. Lower your hands to the earth. Bring your hands and clasp them at your sacrum. Extend your fists towards the back wall. Extend your elbows, arms are straight. Allow your fists to release over your head and neck towards the front of the mat. Breathe into that tightness in the front of the shoulders and see if you can let go a little bit. Let it go. Many of us carry a lot of tension in the front of the shoulders. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Bend your left knee, straight your right. Twist a tiny bit towards the right. Look over the right shoulder. Bend your right knee, straighten your left. Twist towards the left. Look over the left shoulder. Come back to center. Allow your hands to let go a tiny bit more. Release a little farther towards the front of the mat. Lower your hands towards your sacrum. Release the clasp of the fingers. Let them run down the backs of the thighs towards your ankles. Engage your belly and slowly roll up inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae. Moving ever so slowly as the body adjusts, the blood flow shifts, and allow your head to be the last to rise. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears as high as you can. Pinch the scapula together, draw your shoulders back towards the back of the mat, and allow your hands to fall in front of you in Tadasana, palms open towards the front. Take a moment here in this strong mountain pose. Lift up all 10 toes, ground your feet downward like roots, lower your toes. Engage your kneecaps, your thighs, tuck your pelvis, grow your spine long and tall, drop your shoulders, lengthen your neck, and reach the crown of your head skyward. Take a deep inhale here, noticing how strong and stable you are. Just like a mountain. The strength, it comes from within, comes from the earth. And both of those are there no matter where you are, no matter where you're working right now, and no matter what is happening around us. Taking another deep inhale here. Borrowing the strength of the earth and releasing, letting go just a little bit. Take an inhale, open your arms out and up towards the side, reach your hands towards the sky. Take your right hand, thumb and middle finger, grab your left wrist and tip gently towards the right side. Ground your left foot, left hip downward, stretch the whole left side body. Engage your belly here. Exhale, let it go. One more inhale, tug that left wrist gently towards the right. Strength heads downward through the left foot. Exhale, let it go. Come back to center. Switch the clasp of your hand. Left thumb and middle finger grab the right wrist. Right foot grounds downward, right hip grounds downward. Tug the right wrist gently towards the left. Use your belly, use your strength, and notice how strong and stable you are here. Deep inhale into the whole right side body. Exhale, let it go. Come back to center. Open your arms out towards the sides. Allow them to come back by your side. Roll your shoulders out, 3 big rolls. And roll them forward, 3 big rolls. Enjoy. And then walk towards the front of your mat. Toes will face the front of the mat. Feet are about hips width, directly under your hips. Take a moment to organize your feet. We're going to step back directly into Warrior 1 today. We're going to move through all the warriors, feeling like we need the warrior strength and grounding and calm and positioning in this moment in time. Warriors are calm in the midst of the storms. So wiggle your left toes a bit farther forward. Right toes are behind you. Your right toe is pigeon-toed. Shift your hips, so turn them to face the front of the mat, square forward. Inhale, both arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, bend that front knee, come into Warrior 1. You may need to widen your stance a little bit here. Inhale deeply, reach your fingertips tall, and exhale, sink into Warrior 1 a bit. You should have a beautiful calf stretch in the back. Your back calf may reach the floor, it may not. Left toes jet line towards the front, and when you bend that left knee, it does not extend beyond your ankle. Inhale, reach tall once again. Exhale, open your arms out towards the side, bring them, clasp them behind you at your sacrum. Press your fist towards the earth once again. Puff your chest out here, shoulders down and back. Breathe into that chest space, the pocket behind the heart. Fill it with a shining light of hope. And out, exhale, let it go. Another deep inhale into that pocket behind the heart. Fill it up with that golden light of hope. Things will get better. On the exhale, fold forward on the inside of that left knee. Coming into Humble Warrior, your hands will reach up towards the sky and fall over your head and neck. Head rests on the inside of the left knee. If this doesn't work for you, just stay upright with your chest facing towards the front. 2 breaths in Humble Warrior. Notice any shaking, hands reaching towards the front, shoulders open, legs strong and engaged, grounding into the earth. One final deep breath here into that pocket behind the heart. Exhale, let it go. Slowly rise back upright. Chest puffs forward once again. Drop your shoulders. Fists reach towards the floor. Chest is open. Release your clasp of your hands. Bring your hands to heart center. Ground into that front foot. We're going to press off the back foot and tip forward into warrior three, which is a balance pose that uses a lot of energy and strength. Do what you can. If it doesn't work for you, you just do what you can. You're going to press off the back foot, lift up onto the back toe, shift your weight into the front foot, and shift your torso forward. Raise that back leg up towards the back wall, coming into warrior three, a strong balance pose. Noticing the wobbles here in the storm of the balance. You can flex your back heel, press it into the back wall, or point your toe. You can leave your leg low or raise it up to hip height. Just notice how it feels. Notice the wobbles with compassion. If you fall, readjust. One more breath here. Exhale, lower back down into warrior one. Release your hands from heart center, reach them up towards the sky. Cartwheel your arms open towards the side, come into warrior two. You're gonna take your back foot and turn your toe more towards the side of the mat. Your hips are facing the side of the mat and arms are reaching in either direction now. Gaze is over the left middle finger. Inhale, lengthen your spine, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, sink down into the hips gently. Bend the front knee once again. Your feet should be heel to heel alignment. You can double check that. Front toes reach towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen towards the sky. Exhale, sink into your hips a tiny bit more. Strong warrior pose. Grounded and calm. Easeful heart. When you relax into it, you're stronger. Reach those fingertips in either direction. Bend your left elbow, rest your left forearm lightly on the left thigh, reach your right arm over the right ear. Come into side angle pose. Whole right side body stretches from one end to the other. Enjoy the stretch, breathe into it. Reach your fingers and your foot in the opposite direction. Just one more breath here. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. Pause. Drop your right hand down your right thigh. Left fingertips reach towards the crease between the back wall and the ceiling. Come into peaceful warrior. Open up the left rib cage, every little nook and cranny. Send the breath there, fill it up, nourish yourself. Come back to warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips, straight the left knee. Turn your toes towards the side of the mat and turn towards the opposite side. Right toe jet lines towards the back of the mat, back foot pigeon toes. Bend your right knee, come into warrior two on this side. Release your hands from your hips, reach them in opposite direction. Fingers reach long in either direction. Warrior two, gazes over the right middle finger here. Spine is perpendicular towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee. Make sure your front knee does not extend beyond your right ankle. Wiggle those right toes forward if need be. Inhale deeply, strong warrior two. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Outer edge of the back foot grounds into the earth. Exhale, sink into the hips and the right knee. Bend your right elbow, rest your right forearm lightly on the right thigh. Reach your left fingertips over the left ear. Stretch your whole left side body. Pause here in side angle pose. 2 breaths. Last breath here. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Pause, gazes over the right middle finger. Exhale, drop your left hand down your left thigh. Right fingers reach towards the crease between the back wall and the back ceiling. Open the front of the right rib cage. Breathe into it. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here in peaceful warrior. Strong but surrendering. Cartwheel back to warrior two. Shift your hips to face the front. Bring your hands to your hips. Readjust your feet into warrior one here, which means that you are going to wiggle your right feet towards the outer right side of the mat. Shorten your stance gently. Back toes are pointing towards the left front corner of the mat. Hips swing to face the front directly. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee. Sink into warrior one on this side. Deep inhale, lengthen towards the sky. Exhale your arms, release them, reclasp at the sacrum. Press your fists towards the floor, puff open the chest. Breathe into that space behind the heart. Exhale, let it go. Ground that front foot, wiggle it a little bit farther forward if you need to. Make sure that your stance is strong and comfortable, that you are in the best position for you. On the next exhale, if you wish, fold forward into humble warrior onto the inside of the right knee. Breathe into it. 2 breaths here. Notice the wiggles and the wobbles, and how strong you are in the midst of the wiggles and the wobbles. When you relax into it, perhaps there's less wobbles. When you resist it less, perhaps you can find more centering. Gently rise back upright. Drop your shoulders, press your fists towards the floor. Let it go. Release your hands from your sacrum, bring them to heart center. Ground your feet into the earth again. Press off that back foot. Shift your weight into the front foot, coming into warrior 3 here. Notice any resistance to doing this pose again. It is hard. Your balance may be off. Notice if you enjoy the challenge or not. Press your hands together for balance. Press your thumbs right into your sternum to help you balance. Last breath. Lower that back foot. Come back to warrior 1. Release your hands from heart center. Raise them towards the sky. Open them out and bring them to your hips. Turn everything now to face the side of the mat. Heel toe your feet back to center. Roll your ankles out, one ankle and then the other. Just notice how you feel here. Notice any shifts in blood flow, anything cramping or feeling unusual, and just breathe into it. Let it be. If it doesn't feel fantastic, what can you do to help? And gently transition slowly to lie on the mat. As slowly as you can, take your time, move in a nourishing way. If you wish, you can start by sitting upright with your legs extended, ankles flexed, toes flexed towards your nose. Raise your arms parallel with your legs and engage your belly and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, if that works for you. Otherwise, allow yourself to just arrive slowly. And when you arrive, notice how you feel. Notice what parts of you are touching the earth. Notice how your chest feels now compared to when you began. Bring your left hand to your heart. Place your right hand atop. Check in with your heart space here. Take a moment to listen to your heart. Move your right hand to your belly, right over your belly button. And take a listen there. Some of us carry our tension in our chest. Some of us carry it as a pit in our stomach. Just notice who you are and what works for you. Send some kindness and compassion to all of it. Lower your hands to your sides. Bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hips. Heels will almost touch your buttocks. Wiggle those fingers towards your heels. Ground your feet into the earth. Press your palms into the earth. Forearms press into the earth. Inhale, reach your sit bones up towards the sky. Come into a bridge pose. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. You can take your hands, grab the outer edges of your mat and tug them towards your heels, opening your chest a bit. Notice how this feels. Reach your hips high, high, high skyward. Inhale deeply. Into that pocket that opens up behind your heart here. Send it compassion for whatever's going on there. Energetically connect your knees. Lift those hips up on the inhale. Engage your buttocks. Notice any shaking. Your knees should be directly above your feet and your ankles. Another deep inhale here. Reach your hips skyward. Exhale. Untuck your shoulders. Release your hands from the sides of your mat and slowly, inch by inch by inch by inch, lower your hips towards the earth. Allowing and enjoying all the sensations that you feel here. When you arrive, pause for a moment. Take a moment here to notice if anything needs to be untucked or adjusted. Take your right foot, pick it up, bring your right ankle over the left knee. Come into a figure 4 here. Hands can thread around the left thigh, draw the left thigh in towards you. Bend both feet flex both feet to protect your knees. And pause here. You should notice a lovely release in the outer right thigh. Press your elbow into the right knee for more of a stretch if that feels good to you. Take your hands to the front of the left shin if that feels good to you. Make sure that it feels good. Don't do anything that causes harm. A good rule in medicine and in life in general. And that includes to yourself. Take a moment here to think about, are you doing anything that is causing harm to yourself? And how can you change that if need be? Breathe into that outer right hip. Enjoy the stretch. We carry a lot of tension and heartache in our hips. So if you feel a big release, allow it. Bring your hands back to the back of the left thigh if they're on your shin. And extend your left foot and heel towards the sky. Left leg is long. Flex your toes towards your nose. Notice the flossing of the fascia here and how good it feels. Point your toe towards your nose, towards the ceiling of the sky. I know some of you are outside. Flex your toes towards your nose. Enjoy the back of the leg. Point your toe towards the sky. Bend the left knee gently. Release your hands from the back of the thighs. Allow the left foot to land on the earth. Raise both hands over your head into an easy cactus shape. And gently allow the right foot to fall towards the left, coming into a figure 4 twist. The outer edge of the left foot and the left knee will land on the earth, and the right foot will land on the earth. And you should feel a lovely stretch in the outer right hip and right waist area. If you wish, and it works for your neck, you can turn your gaze towards the right. If this doesn't work for you, pick up that right foot and just stack the right leg, right knee atop the left, and you'll have a stretch. the right side body as well. A different stretch, but a beautiful stretch nonetheless. Breathe into that right hip, right buttock area. One more breath here. Deep inhale once again. Exhale, letting things go, loosening a little bit our resistance to whatever it is, whether it's tension in the head or people in the world not behaving as we think they should. Sadness, unnecessary tragedy. And we just have a little compassion for it and allow whatever it is. When we resist, it persists. When we resist, it grows. When you feel it, it can start to heal and start to soften. Turn your gaze back to center if it's towards the right. Bring your knees back to center. Walk that left foot back towards the center of the mat. Even out your hips. Slowly lower your right foot towards the earth. Bring your hands back to your sides. Raise your left foot. Place your left ankle atop the right knee. We're going to come into figure 4 on this side. Thread your hands on either side of the right thigh, grab behind the right thigh, and bring it in towards you. If this is too much for you, you can even leave your right foot on the earth, and this can be enough of a stretch. You can place your left hand gently on your left knee. Otherwise, thread your hands through, flex your feet to protect your knees. If you wish, gently press your left elbow into the left knee and enjoy the release in the outer left hip. 3 breaths here. Extend your right leg, heel presses towards the sky, toes flex towards your nose. Straight right leg, point the toe towards the sky. Lost the nerves and the fascia, enjoy it. Flex your toe towards your nose. Point your toe towards the sky. Flex your toe towards your nose. Bend your knee once again. Release your hands from behind the right thigh. Lower the right foot towards the earth. Raise your arms above your head in an easy cactus shape if that works for you. You can also leave them by your side if that doesn't work, or out by the sides if that works better for you. Gently allow yourself to twist towards the right. The left sole of the foot lands on the earth. Outer right thigh lands on the earth. Your right sole of the foot is going to point towards the left. And you should have a beautiful stretch in the left side body, particularly in the hip and waist area. If this doesn't work for you, pick up the left foot and just rest your left knee gently atop the right. A twist. If you wish, turn your gaze towards the left if it works for your neck and your body. Breathe into it. Using this stretch as a form of kindness, a form of being a little more flexible. Flexible in your body, flexible in your mind, flexible in your heart. Allowing what is, resisting a little bit less. Not because it's right, but just because it is. And because when we're a bit softer, we can often see solutions and find compassion and understanding for ourselves and for others a little bit more easily. Last breath here. Exhale, let it go. Gently turn your gaze back to center. Bring your knees back to center. Sole of the right foot flat to the earth. Wiggle that right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Readjust your hips. Uncross your left foot. Lower it towards the earth. Lower your hands by your sides once again. Draw both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock side to side on your sacrum. Give it a lovely massage. Squeeze your knees towards your belly. Pause in the center. Inhale, reach your forehead. Try to press your forehead towards your knees. It likely won't reach, but squeeze tight in a ball, tight, tight, tight. Exhale, let everything go. Lower your head and neck. Knees are in a loose hold still. Take your hands, grab the outer edges of your feet. Come into happy baby. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Arms on the inside of your knees, rock side to side here. Enjoy the release in the thighs. Press your knees gently towards the earth. Enjoy the rock. A little kindness to self. And bringing a tiny bit of joy. It's our call to experience a little bit of joy, even as we work for better. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press your heels gently into your inner thighs, knees out towards the side. You may need to wiggle your arms around your chest if things get in the way. Press those heels towards the groin. Notice the inner thigh release. Take in a deep inhale here. And an exhale. Release your hands from your feet. Slowly lower your feet towards the earth. We're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, which is reclining butterfly. So your feet, soles of the feet will still be together, knees will be out wide. Adjust your hips if they end up wonky as you land. Allow your knees to relax towards the earth. If this is uncomfortable for you, just extend your legs and head into Shavasana from here. For those of you for whom this feels good, bring your left hand to heart once again, right hand to belly once again, and take a moment to check in. To thank yourself for taking time for yourself today. Time to find some spaciousness and to allow yourself to be exactly as you are in this moment. It's okay to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel whatever you feel. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and draw your knees together. Allow yourself to help yourself. Straight your legs long in front of you. Allow your toes to fall towards the outer edge of the mat. And let your hands fall by your sides about 6 inches, palms open to the sky, if that works for your shoulders. If it doesn't, you can place them on your belly and your chest. You can flip your palms downward. Whatever works better for your shoulders and your body. Allow yourself to land here and to settle into the earth. Let the earth do the work. Let it hold you. Allow your body to let go and to rest. To give yourselves a few moments to just be here. To stop struggling. And to float. Learning How to Float by Mark Nepo. When we stop struggling, we float. When first learning how to swim, I didn't trust the deep. No matter how many assuring voices I heard from shore, I strained and flapped to keep my chin above the surface. It exhausted me. And only when exhausted did I relax enough to immerse myself to the point that I could feel the cradle of the deep keeping me afloat. I've come to understand that this is the struggle we all replay. When thrust into any situation over our head, our reflex is to fight with all our might the terrible feeling that we are sinking. Yet the more we resist, the more we feel our own weight and wear ourselves out. At times like this, I remember learning to float. It required letting almost all of me rest below the surface before the deep would hold me up. This is very hard to do, but the essence of trust is believing that you will be held up if you let go. And though we can practice relaxing our fear and meeting the deep, there is no real way to prep for letting go other than to let go. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take an inhale and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Perhaps fingers long in one direction and toes long in the other, but whatever feels good, fill yourself up with nourishing air and stretch in some way. And exhale, let it go. Roll over to one side, wherever feels good to you. Pause for a moment. Notice perhaps how you feel in this moment. Press your hands into the earth and slowly come back to a comfortable seat where we began. You can grab a block or a bolster or just sit upright in a loose cross-legged position. When you arrive, allow yourself to settle right back into that Shavasana-like state while seated. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Hands rest lightly on your thighs. Take in a deep breath. Tilt your pelvis forward and grow your spine tall once again. Realign, resetting. Deep inhale and huge exhale. Bring your left hand to your heart, right hand atop. A final check-in here in this moment. Allow yourself to feel better here for just a moment. Allow it to sink in into every nook and cranny of your being. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together. Thumbs press into the sternum. Take in another deep inhale. And an exhale. Thank you all so much for joining me for practice this morning. May you all be well. May you all be safe. May you all accept a little more, resist a little less, and be able to float this week. Have a beautiful week. Hope to see some of you next week. Namaste.